2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Test complete.
Hello, my name is David Miller. I'm the lead program technician here at Specialty Chemical, and today I'm going to be showing you how to install a Specialty Chemical deck in a box part. In your kit, you will receive a 9-inch paint roll sleeve, a 9-inch paint roller frame, 3 3-inch paint brushes, a wet film gauge, a paint mixing paddle, a paint tray, 3 paint tray liners, 1 80 grit sandpaper, 1 roll of painter's tape, 1 paint can opener, 1 drop cloth, 3 pairs of nitrile gloves, 5 rags, 3 shoe covers, 3 5-gallon buckets, 2 trash bags. All right, so the first part of your installation is going to be creating a profile for your product to stick to. So how we'll create the profile is we will scratch the deck with an 80 grit sandpaper. Okay? So with the 80 grit sandpaper, you just want to take your sandpaper and scratch horizontal. Okay, and then scratch vertical. Also ensure while working with a partner, you guys overlap each other's scratch here so you can ensure nothing gets missed. Okay. And at the end of your scratching, you should have a nice profile, making sure all areas have been hit with your sandpaper so that you can ensure that your epoxy sticks in all the places on the deck. Once you've profiled your deck with your 80 grit sandpaper, you will now grab a white rag and your alcohol, and you will use these to sterilize your deck. At this point, once you sterilize your deck, you want to make sure that nobody else goes on the deck with anything but booties or spikes for a shoe cover. Okay, saturate your rag with your alcohol. Spray the area to start. And just wipe. Make sure to check your rag for dirt and debris. Once your rag gets a little too much dirt on it, go ahead and flip it over. Get a clean side, that way you're not pushing around all the old dirt. Give it another spray. Spray your area. Once you've alcoholed your deck, ensure that when you step back on your deck, you have on clean booties or spikes so that you do not bring any more contaminants into your space. At this point now, we are ready to mix. All right, go ahead and give your deck one once over to make sure you've gotten everything. And on your mix station now, you can go ahead and open your Part B can, which is your small can labeled Color It, Part B. All right, and open your Part A can, which is labeled Color It, Part A, and also is colored with the label in which the product is colored on the inside. All right, you're going to pour Part B, the little can, into Part A, the big can. Okay, and this mix is pre-measured, so you want to try to get most of it out of the Part B can in there so it can stay as close to consistent as possible. All right, you are going to mix your product for 1 minute in the can. While mixing your product inside the can, ensure that your drill paddle is touching the edges and the bottom of the can, so that way you are stirring up any sediment that lands at the bottom of the can. As you're coming to the end of your 1 minute, start looking inside your can to see if you have any swirls. The swirls are going to indicate that the product is not fully mixed. All right, if it is not fully mixed in the can, but you have mixed thoroughly for a minute under ideal temperature conditions, proceed to dumping it into your transfer bucket. Go ahead and dump your Part A can of mixed product into your transfer bucket. All right, give that one turn around. All right, then go ahead and pull it out. Okay. The reason why we're mixing into the transfer bucket is because around the top of your can, right, once we're mixing, we have unmixed product, okay? So we pour that out, and then we get all the unmixed product back to product that's mixed. So we want to mix it again for a minute inside the bucket, okay? But also we want to minimize the amount of unmixed product that goes into the bucket. Okay, so now that we're poured in there, we'll go ahead and mix again for another minute. All right, once your product is mixed in the bucket, go ahead and take a look at it. Ensure that you have no swirls indicating unmixed product, right? Minimal bubbles, okay? And this tells us that we are ready to pour our product on the floor, okay? Place your drill over top of an open can so that it does not drip on your mixing station. At this point, we will trim. We want to trim 3 inches away from the wall and a 1/4 inch up the wall, so that way we can create a waterproof deck, and also we can ensure our roller does not have to roll alongside the wall. So that gives them a little barrier to work with, okay? All right, we're going to show you how to trim. We're going to pour a puddle in the corner, okay? And with our 3-inch brush, we are going to stick our brush in the product, push it up along the wall, okay? Then we want to push it down. At this point, we are ready to roll. So upon completion of trimming, the first thing I want to do is I want to take my roller, I want to go up along the wall with my guardrail here, and I want to extend that trim as far out as possible, up to 9 inches, the length of the roller. So doing that, I'm just going to go along the edge here. This is going to accomplish 2 things. It is going to extend your trim so you don't have to roll close to the wall. Also, it is going to get rid of the puddles left behind from trimming. Once you have extended your trim, now you will pour your line of product onto the floor. All right, once your line is poured, all right, I like to use about 1/3 of that puddle, okay, and press up into my trim. Okay, you'll leave a little puddle behind, hop over the top of that puddle, and pull that line back. Okay, overlap that roller mark by about 1/3, then continue on throughout the rest of the floor. Once your initial roll is finished, go ahead and look over your deck. You may have some spots that are thicker or some spots that are thinner. Go ahead and now go into your cross roll. Once your cross roll is complete and you still need to move product, then you may move product, but more times than not, your cross roll will level out all that product, okay? So for our cross roll, we're just gonna roll in the opposite direction of our initial roll, the same concept. So we wanna roll across, keep our roller flat, overlap by 1/3 of the roller, but we want to apply light pressure. So the pressure of the paint stick is really all that's on the deck. I'm not pushing down any, I'm not lifting up. My preference is to cross roll all in one direction. If you notice here on this side of the board, it's starting to get a little buildup of product here. Okay, so once I'm done cross rolling, I could just level out all that product in one area and not have to go pull it from different areas of the floor. Then once you are done, go ahead and get that here with all that extra product. A light roll, pull up on your pressure a little bit. You just want to level that product out, okay? At this point, you're done rolling. Go ahead and take a look at your deck before you step off. Make sure everything's coated. All right, at this point, we are ready to apply our flakes, okay? To start off by applying your flakes for a 100% broadcast, the first thing we want to do is get our edges and our corners, okay? So we want to go up alongside of a wall, and you want to do an underhand throw to get the chips along the edge of the wall there. Okay, don't worry about buildup in your corners. This is going to be the slow one. All right, so now that you got your edges and your corners, you want to take your chips. We want to throw our chips high in the air so that they spread out, okay? When I grab the chips in my hand, I have what I call a handful, but the chips are not overflowing. If you get a handful like such, right, you cannot control where the chips are going. You would like to have a nice handful like such so you can make sure the chips go in the direction in which you would like them to, okay? So we want to throw those chips up high over our head. We want them to spread out. And we want to coat the floor. So we're going to do this in sections so that we do not have to walk back over the chips on our way out of space. At this point now, most of our floor is covered with our chips, okay? There are some spots shining through, okay? So we just want to kind of chicken feed those areas. And that way you prevent any clumping and only what's exposed will stick in those areas. Okay, once that's complete, go ahead and move over to your next section. Once you get to the end of your space, go ahead and turn around. Be careful that you don't make any tracks in your area that's already chipped. Chip your last section. And you can go ahead and walk out of your space. And this includes day one of our Deck in the Box Part 2 installation.